Good afternoon. Welcome to our session, Innovation Procurement as Tool to help innovative SMEs to scale up. The timing couldn't be nicer, directly after the networking lunch. So very welcome, nice to have you here. And now I would like to introduce our speakers for today. It's Amira Buseta, a policy officer who is working on innovation and sustainable procurement in DG Grow. And it is Vasilis Tsanidis, the Innovation Procurement Advisor at the European Innovation Council, and Patricio Saez, CIO and co-founder of Sigma Industrial Precision, and Thomas Cotinet, who is head of Ecolab, the private and public innovation laboratory of French Ministry of Ecological Transition. So big applause to our speakers. Yes, I would like also to introduce myself. My name is Valentina Schipper-Shopejko. I am working for the city of Haarlem and coordinating Urban Agenda Partnership on innovative and responsible public procurement, and the chair of the Eurocities Working Group on Public Procurement. And I have the honor to moderate today. First of all, just would like to say a few words about the Urban Agenda Partnership. It's a big network with different public authorities such as cities, regions, member states, expert organizations, and also European Commission. And it's all about exchange of knowledge, information, and our main goal is to push forward public procurement as a strategic tool in order to help public authorities, but also SMEs and startups, that together they can help public authorities to deal with the challenges they're dealing with, such as ecological, economic, and environmental. Just would like to tell you about a nice example as a product of collaboration between City of Haarlem and European Innovation Council. Vasilis Tsanidis presenting today. So at the city, we have a lot of challenges, of course. And one of the challenges was reduction of the food waste. And we started this wonderful collaboration. And the European Innovation Council helped us to find the right match between our need as a public authority, food waste reduction, from one side, and innovative solution from one of the SMEs, innovative SMEs from other side. And European Innovation Council, they have big database, and through this database, they helped us to make this nice matching. So we started the pilot in 6 restaurants in the city of Haarlem. And if you're wondering probably what is this innovative solution is about, it's very innovative but simple as well. So this SME company, they placed in the restaurant's bin, and with a camera above it, and every time when the waiter throws leftover food away, the camera made a picture of this plate, and this information is collected and analyzed through the program by this innovative SME. And as a result, they could give advice about the food reduction for a restaurant or other kitchen. For example, make smaller portions, or just do not use potato salad anymore because it's not tasty or something. So this solution was And there is actually benefit from different sides. Benefit for the city of Haarlem because this solution helps to make the food waste reduction. It's also benefit for the restaurants because you know all the restaurants during the COVID period had a very, very hard time. And by reducing food waste, they also save costs. And it helps them to make their benefits higher and survive and getting bigger. And it's also benefit for this Orbisk SME who delivered this innovative solution because they, as a SME, could grow in this particular example, they are hiring now people because they are growing and getting better. So this is a short example. And now this is our speakers as I already presented to you. And now I would like to give word to Samira Bousseta. Floor is yours.
Hi, good afternoon. I have a few slides just to present what we do in DG Grow on the field of innovation procurement. So I work in the unit in charge of public procurement policy, and I'm in charge of innovation and sustainable procurement, so covering green and social aspect of procurement. And our aim is really to try to, let's say, push gently public buyers to use their procurement budget to help innovative companies really to grow. Just a few data, let's say, that sometimes figures can give pretty interesting information. We estimate that public procurement in value is about 492 billion euros in Europe. It's big. And I think that these figures show that the business potential for SMEs in Europe is huge and is not enough used. And behind this, let's say, big number, what you have to understand that public buyers buy different type of things. They need to deliver good, high quality level of public services to citizens. And this is where innovation and sustainability is very important because we know that public buyers are facing huge challenges, mainly because of the climate change issue. And we really want, and this is what we will see in the next slide, we develop different type of activities to transform a little bit the way they procure and to make it more innovative, to target companies which are developing innovative and sustainable solutions. So what basically we do, it's pretty classical, but it works, I would say. First, we build communities. We have two types of let's say, channel. The first one is our initiative, Big Buyers for Climate and Environment. The idea is to create a space where big public buyers across Europe, mainly cities, but we are opening to the health sector now, and for the next generation we will involve public agencies, ministries, etc. So they can work together on a concrete procurement project. The idea is for them to do the market consultation jointly at EU level, so to engage with the market and with all the relevant stakeholders, but also to build knowledge so they can start draft their tender document in a way that it's more open to innovative and sustainable solutions. The other channel that we are developing and which will be online beginning of next year is the new digital public buyers platform. So this digital platform is targeting public buyers, but not only. We really hope that SMEs, innovative companies, will also find relevant information for them on the activities carried out by public buyers across Europe. So it's really to develop a collective intelligence, and our aim is to use this platform to support first the work done by the Big Buyers Initiative, but also to create communities of practice where public buyers, but also jointly with the members of the innovation ecosystems, work together on concrete solutions, concrete tools, really to help public buyers to develop a more smart approach to public procurement. We also fund different type of projects to, I would say, make it happen on the ground. We have a first type of project we fund, which is really about creating or developing brokerage activities to bring more closer buyers, public buyers, and, and the suppliers of innovative solutions. So we fund this kind of program. On the other side, we also fund concretely public procurement of innovation. So we support consortia of public buyers who had a common procurement project, which could be on different topics. Here we have two projects on the health sector, the EcoQuip Plus and the Radar project, and the other one, which is about drug detect in prison. So you see that we cover, let's say, a large scope of possibilities. And the idea is really to support the project activities, but also the purchase of the innovative solutions. So to incentive with a financial support the purchasing of the innovative solutions. We also try to build new knowledge. So, for example, I just put the result of a study we have conducted of the innovation partnership, which is a new type of contract bringing together the R&D phase plus the procurement phase in the same contract. And you can see the figures also of the SME participation in these tenders is very important, and we see it as a very big lever of, let's say, business growth for SMEs. But we build also other type of knowledge, classical guidances, but also now we're targeting innovative SMEs and startups by first creating this new leaflet on how startups can scale up with the public sector. It will explain pretty briefly how startups and innovative SMEs can work with public buyers. If you want to stay tuned, we have several channels and really to follow our activities, which will be more and more also targeting SMEs and startups. We have a newsletter. We also have a YouTube channel where you can find all the events that we have recorded, and you can follow us on LinkedIn. Thank you.
Vasilis, floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Actually, my presentation will focus more on the supply side. And you have heard from Samira what the European Commission is doing for the demand side in order to be able to mainstream innovation procurement across Europe. In my presentation, you will hear about the European Innovation Council. I don't know if you are familiar with this term. You hear a lot about the European Innovation Council, but I considered useful to actually include some slides in order to present to you what is European Innovation Council, and then the innovation procurement program of the European Innovation Council that actually helps the scaling up of SMEs, beneficiaries of the European Innovation Council, through public procurement. I start with a European Innovation Council saying that actually it's a unique program that with a budget of 10 billion euros for the current programming period in Horizon, funded through Horizon Europe, that actually funds SMEs in all stages of the innovation life cycle, from Pathfinder, where there is early stage innovation, to transition, where we are talking about more mature innovative solutions, and accelerator, then we are talking about innovative solutions that actually are close to the market, close to be deployed. As you can see, there is a horizontal, let's say, arrow that is called Business Acceleration Services. It's the unit where I work and the unit that actually provides support to the EIC beneficiaries, European Innovation Council beneficiaries, helping them scale up through innovation procurement. It provides support to SMEs in all three different stages of the European Innovation Council program, Pathfinder, Transition, and Acceleration. And the Business Acceleration Services is structured into 3 different angles, fields, where we are offering to the SMEs that are part of the EIC family access to advice, then access to business partners, and there I focus, I will place my focus on, and access to innovation ecosystem. Our innovation procurement program, we feel that public procurement offers and private procurement offer business opportunities to SMEs, helping them scale up. That's why we have developed a program addressed to the SMEs of the European Innovation Council that actually help procurers identify and define challenges. We are helping these procurers become familiar with the innovative solutions offered by the SMEs members of the European Innovation Council family, community, and actually through through pitching and matchmaking events, one-to-one meetings, and in that case we are also helping public buyers and private buyers modernize their services. You have heard the example of the Haarlem municipality, how they managed to modernize their services, encouraging their restaurants to use innovative solutions offered by the EIC beneficiaries. And you will have the opportunity right after my presentation to hear from an SME that actually made use of this innovation procurement program of the European Innovation Council and how they help them find clients for their solution. This is one of the initiatives that we have launched, but another one, very important one, is actually is called InnoBuyers. And through this program, we are aiming at helping public and private buyers buy innovation. So we are targeting to the clients of the innovative solutions, helping them, assisting them in buying innovation. There is a program that offers financial assistance to public and private buyers to identify their needs, to do a needs assessment, to do a market consultation. So we believe that a market consultation is really important for the public and private buyers in order to be able to identify on the market solutions that are actually tackling their needs, to co-create with public buyers. This is all addressed to public buyers, and to co-create with innovative companies, also from the EIC family, European Innovation Council family, innovative solutions to tackle their needs, and of course for public buyers to draft and prepare terms of reference that actually facilitate the access to the procurement of innovative SMEs and startups. These calls will be launched in December, in the month that is coming in December, so stay tuned in order to be able to follow this these initiatives that are actually launched by the European Innovation Council. And how you can stay tuned? By following the EIC community platform. We are having a platform that is acting as an interface with the EIC beneficiaries, but also with the outside world. We are publishing very often challenges from public and private buyers. We are also publishing our reports on innovation procurement as well as our matchmaking events, and we are hoping that in the near future this community platform will collaborate with a big buyers platform of DigiGrow, bringing the demand and the supply side in one and single entry point. And last but not least, is our innovation procurement communities. It's a very ambitious program that we are actually aiming to launch in the beginning of in the next year. Actually, it is said matching the activities of the other disease like DigiGrow with big buyers and other activities for helping public and private buyers. We are offering the supply side. We are offering the possibility for buyers to interact through these communities with the innovations that are offered by the EIC EIC beneficiaries. But this is a program that will start early next year. If you would like to work with us or to have a challenge and to work with us, Haarlem Municipality, with the European Innovation Council, don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vasilis, for sharing this information and opportunities. Now, word to our SME representative, Patricio Saez.
Hello, everybody. I'm Patricio from, born in Chile, but living for many, many years in Barcelona. I am the CEO and co-founder of Sigma Industrial Precision. We are a startup that is specialized in automatic and smart analysis of the electricity. And with that, we are helping organizations, companies to be more resilient, reduce costs, and be more sustainable. So I'm very happy to be here and invited by the EIC, because for us, it has been a key part of our development. And I would like to share our experience. We applied to an open call from a group called José de Mello. Is one of the main private groups in Portugal. This company has several activities like highways, hospitals, several verticals. But we met with the people from CUF. And they have several hospitals, and they were looking to find new technologies, new solutions to be more efficient. So in that moment, through the platform, we applied. We had a pitch, a second meeting, a third meeting, and during the pandemic, we were able to close the deal, the pilot. So what we are doing there, CUF has in Lisbon a plant that is cleaning all the material that is used in operation rooms. They are receiving around material from like 19 operation rooms in the area, so it's a huge plant, no? And they are using heavy machines to clean and put all together in the good position to be used again, no? So this kind of application is very demanding for energy. No? They use steam, they need hot temperatures, pressure. So they were looking for something to learn how those machines were working, because they are planning to start a new plant like this in other place. But they were looking to know really, not only with the spreadsheets, with the technical data, how the machines behave. So we show them our solution, and we show them that through our solution we can do much more. So we agreed to make a pilot that is finishing this February. It's going pretty well, and they want to expand the solution to other places. No? So what we do? Well, the pilot was for 3 sensors in Lisbon during 12 months, and we have been like creating a digital twin of the electrical behavior of the machines. And what we do, no? Maybe this picture is a little bit little, but we are delivering a complete solution for industries, infrastructures, and organizations that includes electrical sensors that collects 6,400 samples per second in electricity, so it's a lot of information. And we are like doing a video in high definition. This is the simple way to say. That we are used to obtain a very high resolution and accurate information regarding energy. It also, if we see something that can be dangerous in milliseconds, the sensors are like making a snapshot, a picture, and we are using this information also to make an analysis. Then we deliver also an edge computing device that is also an IoT device that connects with several sensors, and it can cross data from the different sensors to do more sophisticated analysis. And this information is going to the cloud. And on that, with all the information from the different machines, we can compare for the machine during time, he's behaving the same or is drifting to some way that is not correct, or we can compare with similar machines in other applications. So why this machine that is the same that this one is expending 20% more of energy, for instance. And with this information, we can also try to predict when something can fail. And with that, we can save a lot of money by reducing breakdown, by being more efficient in maintenance, going to the machine that really needs maintenance and not all the machine, and reducing the leftovers, the components that they need to retire from the operations when they change machines. And sometimes those machines are quite well. So that's it. For us, it has been a very good opportunity. We have applied to other similar activities with the ISC, not ending in a pilot, but at least it helped you to understand better the customer, the client, the opportunity, what they are looking in the market, and this is something very good for a startup like us. And just contact me, and you can look for us in the internet. I not added my contact details here, but I'm here for any question. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Patrizio. And now I would like to ask Thomas Cotinet to present his...
Hello everybody. I'm very happy to be here with you, and also very happy to see the subject of public procurement on the agenda of this important event. I hope you will all be convinced that public procurement is an efficient tool to help SME. And in our government, so I am responsible of Ecolab. I'm in charge in innovation for the ecological transition and for the support of SMEs and startups. We are thinking that public procurement is an efficient level both for supporting SMEs and for accelerating the ecological transition, the Green New Deal. So I will try to illustrate our concrete action on this subject. So what is at stake when we deal with public procurement for SMEs and startups? We have a great subject of trust. It's not so easy for the public purchaser to give trust a green solution, a green innovation solution of SME, of a startup. So we, the government, the local governments, the agency, we have to find ideas, concrete action to help to build this trust between, on the one side, the SMEs and the startup, and on the other side, the public purchaser, the public procurer of local government, of the state, of the hospital, etc. An example of a concrete and very simple action is this solution directory. So in one directory, you have a list of green innovative SMEs and startups, but we also show when they already had a partnership with a public purchaser, when they already manage to sell to a public procurement. So it helps for the trust of the other public procurer to see that the startup has already done it with some other public purchaser. And it is also encouraging the other SMEs and the other startups to see that other startups and SMEs manage to do it. So it's quite efficient, not expensive action. So a piece of advice, you can perhaps do the same. We do it on what we call ecological transitions. It is composed by several markets, decarbonization of industry, sustainable buildings and cities, sustainable mobility, eco-responsible digital technology, renewable and decarbonized energy, circular economy, water, biodiversity, environmental health, maritime innovation, risk prevention, sustainable finance, and sustainable food and agriculture. And for all these markets, this sort of concrete action is quite efficient to resolve this problem of trust. Yeah. For the SMEs, for the startup, public procurement could be a bit like an administrative topic, could be risky for the business development. You put some money, you put some time on this, and you're not sure to catch a new customer. So we really have to fight this. So this is an example. So this sort of action for our ministry is implemented within the framework of a global support. And so you understand we are focused only on the markets of Green New Deal. And we face a great difficulty, which is greenwashing. So I just said that we had a problem of trust between big public procurer and startups and SMEs. But we also have a problem of trust in innovative green solution, because currently all the companies, all the society are green. Amazon is green, Facebook is green, Total Energy in France is green. So it's very, very difficult for the public procurement to be really convinced that the solution will be firstly innovative, and secondly will have a positive impact on ecology. So we try to give visibility to all those SMEs. It's very crucial to manage this policy, to imagine some event, some partnership, to push them and to attribute them the trust of the state, and so a visibility for their customer. Alors, it's in French, sorry. So what do we do? A lot of training. It's simple, but it is expected to train the CEO of the SMEs, to explain them that what is public procurement. It's not only a legal topic, it's a business topic. You heard with Samira the figure, nearly 500 billion of euro. It's huge. So the training helped to explain to the CEO of the SMEs and customer why it's important to consider the public procurement. And in our case, the case of the ecological transition, so you know that we face an emergency. Some say a catastrophe. So we really have to accelerate to manage to implement this Green New Deal. And innovative SMEs are parts of the solution. So it's very important to do this, because for all these markets I quote, energy, biodiversity, mobility, waste, often the main customer is a public customer. So if we don't manage to resolve this problem, we won't manage the ecological transition, we won't manage the Green New Deal. It's compulsory to manage this. Thus, within our professional fields, we all have some jobs to help SME. Public procurement is not a fashionable topic. It should be. It should be both for the SME and for the Green New Deal. So we do training. We implement some innovative ways to connect buyers and procurement together. We have also an action on database, and I will make a focus on the Living Lab Greentech, the Greentech Living Lab. It's not correct in English. I will say this to my... Yeah, I will conclude. It's my conclusion.
Yeah.
So it's the last example of a simple, concrete action. You choose an incubator, a room, and in the same place, you try to incubate both the public procurer and the startups to help them to make business together. It's not expensive as an action. It's quite efficient too. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all speakers.
Yep.
And now is time for questions and answers. So in the meantime, you can think about your eventual question. Also, for our online participants, you can ask your questions via the platform of this session. So just put it on it. And while you are all thinking about your possible questions, I have also already some questions to the speakers as well. First to Samira. What are the opportunities for innovative SMEs to collaborate with the public buyers?
Yeah, I think that what Thomas just explained is a very good, let's say, answer to this question. But first, I would say that collaborating with public buyers is first to get a contract, a strong one, because public buyers are giving and working really closely with suppliers. They are giving space for testing, for really helping also SMEs and innovative companies to fine-tune their business model. It's really not just the business opportunity, but also a way to enter the market. So yeah, it's an opportunity, but it can be also a huge effort for the SME. So it's also the task for public buyers to start thinking how to draft tender documents, how to, the type of even procedure to choose to really give the chance to SME to work with public buyers. But as you say, I mean, as we just see, it's also a chance for public buyers to work with SMEs. It will help them to be more innovative, but also sustainable. It's the only way. As you said, Thomas, for sure, big companies are also selling the fact they are really sustainable and innovative, but we know that working with SME will also help create new markets, new business opportunities for SMEs, and the role of public buyers is also big there.
Thank you very much, Samira. And Vasilis, I was wondering why access to procurement markets of innovative goods and services is so important, and what are the obstacles, and how could we them overcome?
Thank you, Valentina, for this very interesting question. Actually, for the first scale of the question, why innovation procurement is so important for both the procurers and the SMEs, you have seen the figures from Samira, because actually public procurement represents a very important market for the innovative SMEs and the startups. It's the elephant in the room. We cannot actually disregard how important a budget is being spent through public procurement in Europe. But if you add in this figure also private procurement, then the figure is enormous. So that's why public and private sector procurement represent a huge market opportunity for innovative SMEs and startups. For the second scale, it is important, especially the public buyers, to actually modernize their tender procedures in order to be able to facilitate to their procurement markets the access of SMEs and startups. Innovation comes also from these types of companies, and they have to modernize also the services, the procurement processes, in order to be able to facilitate this, their participation. And but it takes two to tango. It's not only the public buyers, it's also the SMEs that actually have to actually increase, we have to help them increase their capacity in order to be able to take part in public tenders, to bring together, to facilitate the engagement of public and private sector buyers with innovative SMEs and startups, in order to be able to expand their horizons and see that they can modernize their services by acquiring innovative solutions.
Thank you very much, Vasilis. And also question for Patricio. What is the main challenge when engaging with a procurer?
Well, I think that Vasily has shared a lot, and our reality is different. I mean, we are small organizations, very flexible, very fast, but also with reduced resources, no? So sometimes to go for a public, purchasing process, you need to have a tons of papers, certificates, documentation, etc., etc. And finally, the amount is little, because as you are a small organization, you cannot go for the big projects. So at least in Spain, it's like 15,000 euros. So you invest a lot of efforts, and finally, you have the first pilot in the city or in that organization, but it's not sufficient enough to scale up. If we really want to compete against or with America, China, and other markets, we need to make our companies, or most innovative companies, grow fast. And the public market is key here.
Okay, thank you. Interesting insights. And Thomas told us about their experience in France as a ministry, but I was wondering, would the Greentech Innovation Initiative also work in other EU member states in order to support SMEs and startups and regional and national level?
In Europe, the legal law of public procurement is the same for everybody. So we have quite the same regulation for public procurement. We also have the internal market. So yes, it's quite easy to first do the same and work together. And also, in our job of economic development or innovation development, we are often a bit biased. So we think financement, grants, subvention, capital. So it's really crucial to give money to SME and startups to help them. But they also need to sell. And it's not so expensive to help them to sell. So it's quite possible to replicate it when you focus your energy and your policies to help your startup or your SME to sell, to find new custom. It's not a question of financement. It's more a question of expertise, of skill in your team. So I think it's quite easy to replicate it. I'm sure we're not the only one to do this. And I'm here to represent the states, but the local governments are doing the same. It's the same idea. So really, I think it's quite easy to replicate this sort of concrete action and to help SMEs, not only by the way of financing, but also by the way to help them to sell, and for instance, to sell to a public purchaser.
Thank you very much, Thomas. And now we have some time to think. Okay, please. I don't know if there is somebody with micro who could answer. Yes, also very good.
Okay.
Yes, and the micro is... going to you.
Thank you so much. This was really inspiring, and I would take it from you from the last. I think having the public procurement process, making sales for startups would be a very rapid fit of everything we want to achieve if we want to really make impact and change things as they are. But I'm wondering, I've heard about this for more than 10 years. And I haven't seen any tremendous change yet. So I wonder, what is your perception of what are the hurdles and how do you plan to attack them?
Okay, thank you. Very interesting question. And I was wondering who would like to respond to it.
I can start.
Samira and Vasilis. There are two volunteers. Okay,
No,
Samira.
because I totally agree. I've been working in this field since almost 20 years now. I totally agree that, sometimes you feel like maybe I should change my job. But I'm not 100%, I do not agree 100% with you. I think that things are starting to change. We see that, for example, cities are starting to see, because they have this big challenge that classical solution won't fit anymore, and they really started to see, okay, how can we start to buy new solutions? And some would say, it's more about the legal framework, it's not adapted, etc. Okay, maybe, but I think that the main barrier is the mindset and the culture within public organizations and administration. It's a big one, and changing the culture, it takes a long effort, and we also are starting not only to work with, I would say, operational level, people who are drafting the tender documents, etc., but more with also decision makers, because they are the ones who are going to give the right impulse and say, okay, now we need to be more green, we need to be more innovative, and we need to push, and then the staff will follow. So what we're trying, and the next step is also what Thomas is doing in the Living Lab, and we have also other examples, is to start having these cities being host, let's say, startups, not as just incubators to have them develop their business as it's usually done, but also for their own needs, and to start creating this very positive, circle where they feed their procurement project with the first result they see on the ground. So you could say, okay, it will give an advantage with the SMEs and etc. It's not true, because at some point you will have to launch a call for tender and you will create a competition. But these insights on how to integrate what it really needs to the innovation to be implemented and to create impacts, it takes time, but more it takes a very strong relationship between public buyers and startups or innovation ecosystem. So we know now that we also have to push this. This is why we're creating also communities of practice. So we start making people really talk to each other. And the next step would be also to develop the living labs as the example in France, because it's another way of making startups and public buyers work together. Voilà.
Thank you. Vasilis, some...
Yes, very
short
few words. Actually, Rome was not built in one day. And we are talking about an environment, especially public procurement environment, that it is extremely conservative. And when I started working on innovation procurement, it was 2012 in the European Commission. And when we were talking about innovation procurement, and at that moment, everybody was looking at us, okay, who are these crazy people talking about procurement and innovation in the same sentence? So actually, and now we are talking about innovation procurement that we are not there yet, of course, I agree with you, but a lot has changed since 2012, that this innovation procurement was a strange word, and now we are talking more and more about the strategic character of public procurement, and we cannot afford as Europe to use public procurement money in order to buy off the shelf or not to tackle strategic goals.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. The second was just... yes? Okay, first lady, and then you're right, and then yes. Okay.
Hello,
please.
good afternoon. My name is Diana Dovga, and I represent SECOP, the European Confederation of Cooperatives active in industry and services. So thanks a lot to the panelists. I mean, we know that public procurements can be drivers for innovation, green transition, but also for the social impact, for some social objectives. And the latest EU directive made already a huge improvement in that direction, in the way that now it's much more easier to introduce quality criteria, social considerations, to reserve public procurement, for example, to non-for-profit providers, to social economy companies, why in the past it was much more the cheapest criteria. That was the rule. So for us, I mean, it's very important when we look at the innovation aspect also to consider the social dimension of the innovation. And in our network, we have many cooperatives providing very innovative services in being in waste management, in care sector, in transport, culture, etc., just to name some, through public procurement. So my question to the panelists is, are you also, especially to those who deal with support measures for either public authorities who are purchasing or to the enterprise who are participating in public procurement, how do you integrate the social dimension of the innovation? And if I may just comment to what the previous speaker said, and I really agree that we should, it's important to look at the obstacles that we have, because just on this question again of the social dimension of public procurement.
I'm really sorry. Just what is the question? Because we have more questions, so it would be great.
So I said my question, but
Yeah.
just to say that your colleagues from other departments in European Commission also address this issue, how to support public authorities to use social considerations in public procurement. So I think that here as well, there are some exchanges that can be done inside the European Commission, and we should go in this direction, how to encourage public more innovation in public procurements and also the social ones. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next one is over there. So who would like to respond, sir?
I can take it.
Yes.
No, actually, in my team, we are dealing with strategic procurement, which is really innovation, green and social procurement. And so it's new because the team started more than 1 year ago to work on this topic and to really link the three topics. So it's also because we transform a little bit also our approach to innovation procurement, linking it with social aspects and green procurement. It's also bringing this message closer to public buyers to say, okay, when you are buying a new solution, you also have to integrate the social impact of this solution you are buying. And it's also about mindset, you see. Because, yeah, I mean, still now, even if we can use the meat criteria, I mean, buyers are not used to buy the value. They buy price. So it's also supporting buyers really to change this approach to procurement and to have a more value-based approach. Then, and in value, you can integrate innovation, social, and green dimension. And it's a matrix to be built by the contracting authority. But the level of maturity and really to bring contracting authorities to this level of maturity is our job, I would say. And it's a long journey. But we're starting even because we are also having this new team and really joining forces really to integrate this three dimension in procurement. But I totally agree, it's a huge challenge. We see that often the Nordic countries are well advanced, let's say, in integrating social dimension. But we are also opening more and more to social innovation, for example, and working closely with the social economy also. So companies which are really developing, more social solutions. So step by step, I would say.
Yes.
And one sentence. Actually, innovative solutions can also tackle social issues. So using innovation in procurement as an impact has an impact also on social issues. Mm-hmm. It's not only about social procurement as a procedure, but the impact on innovation has also a social aspect.
Yes, thank you very much. The last
Okay.
question, and then another questions we will do after the session, because we have go out of this room then, but we will tackle the last question. So thank you.
Okay.
Yes?
Thank you. Joe Tanti, CEO and business mentor of the Malta Business Bureau. First of all, well done to all the panelists and yourself as moderator for delivering such an interesting workshop. It's not easy after lunch to keep everybody, and you can see by all the questions that it's very interesting. So well done for that. I have both an observation, and you know, we are all here also a part to exchange, also to learn from each other, and then also I have a question. But in terms of observation, I picked up something from what Patricio said in relation to the difficulty for startups and micro. And I think one thing, both in terms of the policy for policymakers, I also work in policy, representing business. It's important that perhaps I would like to see in the next next annual SME assembly, we dedicate a fora specifically for micro and small business in general. And I'm saying this because every time we put startups, micro, small into the umbrella of SMEs, and I think there's a big difference. And especially nowadays, our micro and our small are the innovative companies as well. So even in relation to procurements, in relation to bureaucracy and so forth. The other thing is also I think we need more actions on the ground. And in order to be able to facilitate, because it's not easy for policymakers and you have the policymakers, you have social partners, we need gatekeepers. I believe that the European Commission should issue a call to recruit gatekeepers on a European level based in countries to be the bridge between the public authorities and the companies in itself. In the past, there used to be actions like Team Europe and so forth. My question is in relation to the actions. I believe ECI has got business coaches as well to support in relation to the accelerator programs and so forth. There are various mentors and coaches in other areas, such as the Enterprise Europe Network, such as recently, and I am one of them, is the Early Warning Europe Mentor Academy. Can there be a proper mapping in this relation to support our SMEs, small business, micro businesses, to have access better to procurements?
Thank you very much for your question. Very short response, because we only have 1 minute and then we have to wrap up. So, yes?
Yeah, okay, I can take this.
Yes, thank you.
Actually, yeah, it's a good idea that we're working on it. Actually, it's important that the coaches also provide information about public procurement and access to procurement markets. Actually, our EIC Innovation Procurement Program has just started. We are very new in the lifetime of the Commission. We just started in 2021. So a lot of things are expected to happen also from the next year. And one of these is also to encourage our coaches in order to be able to provide support on innovation procurement. We are doing that already for the EIC beneficiaries that actually taking part in the pitching events and the matchmaking events that we are regularly organizing. For example, before the matchmaking event that we are organizing with public and private buyers, mainly in this case public buyers, we are offering training through with coaches to the SMEs in order to be able to pitch in a proper way in front of an audience that is comprised of public buyers, if it's public buyers, or private procurers, if it's a private sector procurer.
Thank you very much, Vasilis. Thank you very much for joining us. Big applause for the speakers.
And for the moderator.
This was our session on innovation procurement as a tool to help SMEs and startups to scale up. If you have any questions that are not answered, we can do it after this session. You can just go to one of us and ask your question. Please feel free to do that. And wishing you a wonderful afternoon. And for those who are traveling this afternoon or tomorrow, have a safe trip. Thank you so much for joining us.